Welcome to JBTV, your ultimate destination for exclusive interviews with DJs and professionals shaping the music industry. Today, we're thrilled to showcase a powerhouse in the dance music scene, wAFF. With an unparalleled passion for music and a relentless dedication to the craft, wAFF has been a driving force in the global dance community. Join us as we explore wAFF's journey from his roots in the underground clubs of Leeds and Hull to his meteoric rise to international acclaim. This is JBTV, where we celebrate the artists shaping the future of music. Welcome to JBTV. Today, we've got a bit of an audience today and also a well-renowned DJ globally, wAFF. So, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. No,
everyone's meant to clap here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So obviously you're playing tonight. Talk to me about sort of like, have you played here before?
Yeah, I played here it was a few years ago now because I was supposed to play back, I think sometime last year, but then my ears got damaged and got fucked, so I had to cancel it. So this is obviously the replacement show from then, but last time was like a few years ago and it was just so fucking good. Like just the room's so sick, the sound's wicked, and like when it's full and just the vibe in here is just amazing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it again.
I remember when I started on the bar and I came downstairs and I was like, fucking hell, I'm staying here for a bit. Like I'm on here for like the future. And now I've worked upstairs and organising sort of like the festival side of it. But like coming back down, like I never miss it. It never gets old. Like I'm here every
night.
Every week or so, right. I'd say I'll slow down now. Yeah, no, but it's like I don't get bored of it because I know the spots. Like I have to come round the back and then get to the front left, and then it's
like small. So I guess
yeah. Well, it gets a bit cramped, so you have to go round the back. This is all for you lot as well tonight. You go round the back, you get to the steps, and then you can creep in, and then you're there at the decks, and you can watch him play. So.
There you go. In case none of you knew how to fucking walk around and get to the front, now you know.
But obviously, yeah. So tonight, I'm just gonna talk about sort of like, have you got like what are you gonna try and play tonight? Have you got like a set sort of like? Have you got a playlist ready? Like what are you gonna play?
Just straight up Celine Dion, Shania Twain, Slipknot. I've got so much music for tonight. I downloaded altogether, I think, like 700 new tracks. And
just for tonight?
Like over the last few days, yeah, because I just wanted to have everything. So I'm going to start off with just like deep and just go into like, it's going to be like minimal, rolling house, chunky, like everything really. I'll just go everywhere. So.
Yeah, I love that. And so like, do you know, during your set, so like you'll start off a bit slower. What sort of tempo are you going for? You'll start at like...
I mean, for me, I'll start off like probably 124, but then my tempo that I like playing at now is like 130 BPM. Like, I feel like now the tempo, because like the sound's got a lot more houseier. I feel like that's the best speed for it.
I feel like...
Depending on what it's like, I mean, if it's going to be like really busy and it's a good vibe, 130 beats like works. So
I feel like nowadays, like with the demographic at the moment, like there's so many people at the moment that just love like it a bit harder. Like it's come to that stage now where it's changed from like the deep house era and it's come to like that 140 and everyone's like proper having it off.
140 is like well fast.
I mean, fucking fast, mate. It's too fast for me. That's what I'm saying. But like when it comes to like that 130 pace, like that's where I'm content. Like.
But there was like a tune, like you guys probably know my old track Joe Johnson that I released like years ago. So like that, and when I released that, now I listen back to it, it's mad because I made that at 120 BPM. Because back then it was just like, I guess that was the tempo. But now listening back to that, it's fucking just sounds like really slow. It's weird, but yeah, I guess just the time's changed. But now the music is a lot more houseier, so I feel like it's better up speeded.
So moving on, just talk to us about sort of like how you began like as a DJ, sort of tell us about your journey in the underground scene. Like where did you first start?
So I've spoke about this before, but this is a stupid story, but I used to, before music and everything, I used to be a trained dancer. So I used to do like ballet, tap, fucking jazz, but I was a sick break dancer and street dancer. And I used to do a lot of acting and stuff. So I was at Performing Arts College. I used to get paid to dance. I got signed to a dance agency. Fucking probably nothing, I can't remember. But like, it was just like, just on a dance agency, getting paid to dance at different events. A dance at a gay wedding, which was the weirdest thing ever. I was on a podium at a gay wedding and like just doing.
Ballet or?
No, it's like street dancing, but I don't know. But yes, I used to do that. But then my dance teacher took me out to listen to house music for the first time, and he gave me my first ecstasy tablet. And
Your teacher did?
my dance teacher, yeah. He was like, have half of that. So I had half this ecstasy tablet, and then I was just like, fucking hell, I need to just be doing this like all the time. So I actually just quit everything. I quit all my dance agencies. I quit all of my college that I've been like spending years like training in, quit everything. And I literally just sat at home having house parties all the time. Like obviously in love with house music. I was doing loads of ecstasy and just think like everything's just amazing. But I just started making music. I wasn't trying to like become a DJ. I downloaded Fruity Loops. I don't know if you guys do you produce it all or any of you guys? Yeah, so like, do you know Fruity Loops? Have you heard of? Yeah, Fruity Loops is like really like easy software. And I just started to mess around and make music. And I just loved it so much that eventually I was like, okay, well, I actually want to play this out. And then, yeah, just started making music, playing out a little bit. And then I put my first release out, which was Joe Johnson, and Ibiza was the second one. So it went from like just being an ex-dancer to then like quitting everything to then putting out this music and just touring the world. So it just happened like, yeah, randomly.
And what sort of age was that when you sort of like quit your dancing?
I was 16 or 17.
16, 17, and then sort of like you start focused on that, and then
I was having house parties and making music.
And so, and what age did you produce like Joe Johnson? Like how long did it take you to create this track that's obviously like...
It took me 20 minutes. Joe Johnson took me 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know, it might have taken you that long, but like how long did it take you to become like a producer that like when you first...
Like I would say years. From 16 to 20 was like I was making so much music, and then I was just waiting for that one tune that I just knew was gonna be like, okay, this is fucking sick. And then I gave it to Richie Ahmed, and he passed it to Jamie Jones, and that was it. They just took it. So I had so much music before that. I just wanted to wait for the right tune where I was like, okay, this is sick. So yeah, that was it. It was like a few years.
When you like had that tune, and you were listening to it over and over again, obviously like when you're a producer and you're hearing that same 4x4 beat, and sometimes it gets a bit like, oh fucking same fucking bass line in your ears type thing. It's like, did you know straight away when you had that tune, you're like, this is
Yeah, so I made Joe Johnson so like imagine us like now just in like an after party, and I would always like get my computer and link up the speakers to Ableton. Fruity Loops actually at the time, and I would actually just make it on the go. So we'd come back from a club, we'd all get back to the house, I'd just plug the speakers in so everyone just sort of stood around, and I'd start with a kick, and then I'd add like a bass line in, and literally watch all my friends sort of go from like just nodding their head thinking, fucking hell, again wAFF doing this, and then all of a sudden being like, fucking hell, that's sick, dude. And then it just kind of built, and then Joe Johnson happened literally an after party with me, with all my friends just messing around. So yeah, it just kind of worked and clicked. But yeah, I used to do it all the time. But
yeah, I love that. So obviously you mentioned like that pivotal point in your career where you've gone to like Ricky Ahmed's gone and shared.
Ricky Ahmed, I like that. Richie. I like how you said Ricky Ahmed.
Richie
Ahmed.
Fucking hell, sorry if he ever sees.
No, fucking call him Ricky.
Richie Ahmed. And Jamie Jones obviously shared it over to Jamie. At that point, sort of, was that a pivotal point in your career where?
Yeah, because like, I mean, obviously you dream of being like, you look at these DJs and like you go to DC10 or any club in the world where, you know, Amnesia was always like a dream, or DC10. And for me, I had no idea that Jamie had it at the time. So me and all my friends, we went to Ibiza, and I knew that Richie had it, and he told me that he was gonna send it to Jamie. And all my friends was like, probably like 30 of us, we all had a villa in Ibiza, and we all went to DC10. And like, you guys have all must have been to DC10, right? Or some of you maybe. And like, you know how busy it is? It's like so packed. So when you get in there, you wanna find the right spot on the terrace. So like me and all my friends were like trying to find this spot. And as we're going through the crowd, like, I mean, I wasn't paying attention to the track that was on at the time, but my friends were going, like, wow, is this your tune? And I was like, nah, is it fucked? It can't be. So we're still trying to find this spot. And all of a sudden, once we found like an area where all of our friends could actually just stand and dance, I just heard all the bongo drums from Joe Johnson. And I was like, no way, it cannot be. And then it just dropped, and then the whole club went crazy. And like, that was the moment where I was like, no fucking way. Like I was in DC-10 with all my best mates, walking in to the actual intro of my own track, and it dropped like as soon as we found the spot. It was like, it was like a really surreal experience. So, I mean, that moment was just like, it was amazing.
Do you know when you're looking down and you're seeing like everyone just reacting, like, and you're thinking, fucking hell, this is like actually like.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best feeling. It never gets old. Never gets old. I mean, at the time it was more like shock because I just couldn't believe it. It was like, what the fuck? And I couldn't really sort of like comprehend it all. But I remember when I left DC-10 and I went back to the villa. I remember just like, there was a moment of kind of just, I was actually having a piss, and for some reason it all became like a reality to me. And I got emotional, like, I didn't cry, but it was almost like, oh my God, I can't believe that this thing that I've been trying to like dream of and work towards actually kind of feels like it's about to happen. So yeah, it was amazing.
So like, obviously you've gone home from that experience there, and like you're on the plane home and you're thinking, fucking, I'm gonna make it here. And like, so you get home back to the studio, or like you've come home, whereabouts are you based at this point in time?
What, back then?
Yeah, back then.
I think I was in Hull, lived in Hull. And then I went to Leeds and lived on my friend's sofa because I literally just like, I just never wanted to work. I've never had a job. I just used to just, I don't know, just like I went to my friend's house, stayed on a sofa, and I would literally just make music all day. So
did you just do it on your laptop? Like you didn't have a studio? Like
no, I've never had a studio. Like, so I've got a studio, I've been doing this 14 years, and fucking, you would think that I would have like a sick studio, and I've literally just I'm the biggest computer, like a gaming nerd ever. So instead of a studio, I've just got a gaming room, and I've got my monitor speakers, but I just make everything on just one monitor. I can't even be asked to turn the other monitor on. So like, I've got no soundproof, no hardware, just fucking one monitor, and I'm just like, it's like, I don't even really have a setup, but it just worked for me. Yeah. I used to make it all in headphones, but now I don't because my ears got like damaged, which they're good now, but.
Talk to us on that, because like, as someone that's in the industry at the moment, and I'm attending events, I'm attending festivals, and like, I've got earplugs and I do try and use them as much as possible, but
I can't do it at all with earplugs.
When DJing, I can imagine why you don't. But like, even as an organizer, like I'm putting them in, and then the next day my ears are still ringing. And it's like, I can see like in the future years, you know, that could happen to me. And
well, so my ears have like been gradually getting worse over the last 5 years. I went to Burning Man, and when I left Burning Man, I was like in the back of the RV, and we're driving back from Nevada desert to LA. And you know, when you go for like on a plane or different altitudes and your ears pop, well, that happened to me, but whilst I was asleep. But instead of it just popping, I got told because I was asleep, I couldn't like equalize my ears. So it felt like my fucking head blew up. Like I woke up in agony. I went to the hospital, and they told me that my eardrums, both of them, had nearly ruptured. And I had like a double ear infection. So I basically lost like 80% of my hearing for like a month. It was terrifying. Like I could hardly hear anything. I couldn't fly. I was stuck in this hotel room, and like, it was just the scariest time. But then I took all the medication, my ear infection went. But then since then, my ears have got worse and worse and worse. And I just put it down to, oh, it's because I'm a DJ. I guess this is fucking what happens. But I couldn't remember, because it's been so long, how my hearing was before. So when I went to the doctors again recently, they basically told me that I was, so 0 is perfect hearing, and -90 is basically classed as deaf. But -35 is considered a disability, because that's where you can't understand speech properly. So when I did my hearing test, he told me that I was at -34. So I was like literally nearly disabled, which in a weird way, because I'm weird, I kind of like the idea of being called disabled. But no, I didn't. But anyway, obviously it was terrifying, because I was like, what the fuck? But then he explained to me that sometimes with ear infections, the infection can go, but because of the pressure in your ears, it can build like a fluid that sometimes just doesn't clear. So the fluid actually just blocks your hearing. So that was like a few months ago. I was nearly disabled. And then now I went back a few days ago, and I was -34, now I'm -15. So, and -10 is normal hearing. So I basically gained back 50% of my hearing loss. So I'm fucking sweet. So yeah.
And what did you have to do in that time of like when you were -34, and like how did you manage to get back to this?
I've just been taking loads of different like medications.
Was it all just medication? Like, did you carry on playing and stuff like that? Like,
No, I stopped for a few months. Medication. I'm on steroids because obviously I'm massive, but yeah, I'm actually on steroids. But they're just to bring the pressure down. But yeah, scary as fuck. But also though, so many DJs that I'm friends with, like speaking to Archie Hamilton yesterday, and so many other different DJs, like everyone's having issues with their ears. And I think it's just because like you've got like this inflammation in your ears from the loud music all the time. And I just can't DJ with earplugs. I find it so difficult.
Yeah, I've seen like some things where it's like if you go into the club with earplugs in, then you're used to like the sound and like you're used to people talking. How did that not?
Just can't do it. Just can't do it. I remember Pausa said to me something, and it was the perfect way to describe it. It was like, basically wearing earplugs, because he uses earplugs, and BB always used to like kick off with me, but mate, wear your earplugs, because he's obviously had, when we know what's happened with BB and stuff, but I was talking to Pausa, and I was like, mate, how the fuck do you actually DJ with earplugs all the time? He was like, yeah, to be fair, mate, it's shit. It's basically like having sex with a condom on for the rest of your life. It's like, it's basically takes out all the pleasure, but it's just better for you. It's like safer. And I was like, that's fucking right, but I'm never doing it. So yeah.
Going like back to sort of the start of like, how has your music preference changed from like when you first started producing music to now? Like, has it changed?
Yeah, I've been going through like a massive thing recently, because like I started 14 years ago. I think that's when my career kind of started off, 13 years ago. And like, you know, I've got my own sound, and I always want to make tunes that stand out. And I know I've got a particular sound that, you know, is recognizable, but I've gone through like, it's actually been a really important thing for my own personal journey as like an artist, because like, you know, my career's been amazing, but then I've had all these different roller coasters, and it's not always been like smooth sailing. I've had so many challenges, and like now I feel like the sound's changing into this like, I absolutely love the new sound that's come from like Netherlands, like with Another, and then, you know, it's like Archie plays sick music, East End Dubs, Chris Dussy, all these guys who are like playing this new fucking chunky like deep tech house. Yeah. That's really inspired me as well now, and I really, really enjoy it. So I also still love all my rolling stuff. So all my new music is like influenced by the newer sound. I'm not really making massive big room tech house like I used to. And my sound's definitely come to a bit more of like a cooler sound route, because I always just used to play banging tunes. I remember when I first started playing for Paradise, and I would always get put on first, because obviously I was a new DJ. I would play like the fucking fastest, hardest rolling set, like on the first like slot, and they would always be like, you can't keep doing that. And but back then I didn't know how to play any different. But now like I feel like I've got to a point where, you know, I can play everything. But my sound definitely is changing.
But like at that time, like you playing that sound that was your sound, that made you who you were. Like that was your, you know, you were renowned for that big rolling techno tech house that was just like, everyone wanted to see that. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, and like, and it still works. Like, you know, I go all over the world, and it's still like, I still can play everything I want to play. I've got a really good fan base. I love all my fans. Like they all, you know, I always get good love and good energy from everyone that I play to, but it's like times are changing. So, you know, you kind of got to keep up with the times a bit, and just, yeah, I'm just trying to influence everything. I'm getting inspired by all this new stuff.
I messaged my sister, she's 30. And so it was like in the era of you like coming up, and I was like, yeah, I'm interviewing wAFF tonight. She was like, fuck off. Like, he's one of my favorites. Like, I gave him a hug in fucking Birmingham. I was like, what do you mean you gave him a hug in Birmingham? I was like, she was like, I think it was Rainbow or something. And so obviously she was just like, oh yeah, tell him about it. She's my favorite DJ.
Get her, is she fit? Get her here, mate. Get her to creep round there and fucking sneak to the front.
Straight to the front. Yeah, I'll get her backstage for you. Don't worry about it. Yeah. No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Swiftly moving on from that one. But so like, obviously you go in from like, you've gone from your rolling tech house, and you're trying to change into like this deeper sort of sound.
Well, I'm not trying to change. I'm still keeping it.
Yeah,
I'm still going to be me completely. I'm not going to just try and become someone completely different. I'm not trying to like like, I'm not trying to make music to try and sound like someone else. I want to stand out and be my own thing. But I'm just like, my sounds, I'm getting inspired by a lot more different stuff. It's just not such like big, massive bomb rolling tech house like all the time that I used to. I still make that stuff. Yeah. But you'll hear it tonight, man. Like, I've just, I don't know if you guys have heard, but I've been posting like a few videos on my Instagram with like new tunes. And like, they're all a little bit different. Like, they're all like a little bit, I don't know, they're a bit more housey influenced, but like sick bass lines, and yeah, it's cool.
So like, let's say tonight, like you're gonna go into the room. What sort of thing are you gonna start? Like, do you know what you're gonna start with, or are you just gonna see the crowd?
Just deep, and then just go into like just house, chunky house, and probably go into rolling stuff towards the end. And it all depends on the vibe, but like I'm well excited. I've got some sick music, so it's gonna be good.
So from the start, what sort of artists inspired you when you were first starting? And also, obviously, you mentioned like the Stussies, the Archie Hamiltons that have inspired you now. Yeah, so like from the off, like who inspired you?
When I first started, it was like Luciano, Tanya Vulcano. A really important thing for my sound was, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but there's a Radio 1 Essential mix from DC10, like in 2005. It's like Tanya Vulcano and Loco Dice. And it was just the fucking sickest sound. That was really inspiring for me. But back then, Loco Dice, Luciano, Villalobos, Tanya Vulcano, Marco Crawler, still love them anyway, like all of them. So that was like how it started. And then now it's like, yeah, I get inspired by just so many sick artists, man. Like, just, like, obviously, like, the names like Archie. I love Archie's music. I just love, like, the rolling housey, like, pumping, like, for good vibes. East End Dub's fucking sound just absolutely sick. Like, the big chunky bass lines that stand out. Rossi, I mean, obviously Stussie's amazing, but he's a bit more like dream. It sounds amazing as well, but there's so many of them that are just inspiring to me. Fucking Enzo is absolutely sick, yeah. So, yeah, just all that sound, man, it's just like the thing that I kind of like get inspired a bit more now.
Do you know when you're going into like, you're producing a track, I've always wanted to know sort of like, do you know when you're like collaborating with someone else on a track, how does it sort of work? Like, is someone doing the bass line? Is someone doing the drums?
Yeah, I mean, you just send loops over to each other. You make a beat, send a loop, and then just, you know, if it works, you add to it. Yeah, it's kind of pretty straightforward, really, if you've got a good like idea to go from.
Because I skipped through your discography, and you had like a rap artist that you'd obviously produced a beat on, and so
I can't remember that.
Well, I went back to fucking like 20.
Yeah, I can't remember half my tunes now.
But it was like, so when you're like collaborating as like, you know, you're the producer, for example, and he's the rapper, and you've come in, and are you the one that's going to create the whole beat, or has he got an idea in his head from the off?
Yeah, so I've just made a tune with Liam Gallagher's backing vocalist in his band, and she's an amazing singer, but I was just trying to make a bit more of like a commercialized sort of like garagey tune, and that was really good, but it's also like intense because I don't sing, I don't write lyrics, I'm not a writer, so when you're in the studio with someone, and then like you're making a beat, and they're like, okay, so like, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, fucking, I don't know, just sing something. And it's like you get stuck in a place, but it's like a really creative process that takes a while. But yeah, it's like, it's a difficult process, but it takes longer, but it's worth it in the end. Like there's a tune I did with Cheyenne P called Mesmerized, and that worked perfect. I sent it to him. He sent me a voice note with the lyrics, and I was like, that's it. It worked straight away. So it's just different every time.
Obviously, you said Joe Johnson took like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
How long, like, let's say you're going to the studio, maybe not tomorrow after this session, but like, you know, when you've got a free day off, like you'll sit in the session and you might think of like a new idea and you've got a bass line in your head or something like that. Like, how long would it take you to sort of incorporate all those sort of like, you got your bass line, you got your drums, and now you've got your highs, and then you're trying to create your melody? Like, how long would it take for you to...
It could take me 5 minutes, it could take me 5 hours. Now I spend a lot more time like getting it right. But I can come up with loops like all day. Like it's so easy for me. But to actually finish the tune, now I think a lot more into like the production and how it works. So, but I also, because I play so much, when I come home from traveling, I'm so exhausted from the actual fucking travel and being around music that the last thing I ever think about when I go home is actually making music. So I find it really difficult to actually get motivated at the moment. But I've now gotten to a place where I'm really like focused. I've just made like, I think 25 tracks in I just took off the last 3 weeks in January, and I've made about 25 tracks. So it's been really good. Like this year is just going to be filled with music. So
yeah, that's good to hear. So like during, obviously, like, burnout is such a big thing nowadays. Have you ever experienced burnout? And like, is that something that you...
Oh mate, yeah, it's constant. Constant. If you speak to all the other different artists,
because I mean, I interviewed, I've interviewed a couple before this, and they've gone, oh, I mean, yeah, burnout, yeah, but you just get back on it. But like, obviously, I know.
Like I personally struggle with the lifestyle. Like I've had anxiety since I was like 18. I mean, it doesn't like affect me in a way that I can't deal with life, but it's so weird because I'm a DJ. I'm around like hundreds or thousands of people every weekend, but like I'm an introvert and I've got social anxiety. It's like fucking the most maddest like career to have when you have that. But like I'm not uncomfortable. Like I love speaking to people, I love socializing, but I think from the DJ lifestyle and how intense I just personally find the experience of DJing is better than everything. But the lifestyle around it, because I've been doing it for so long, drugs were a big part of it, which like I used to have like a addiction with ketamine, which I haven't done now for over a year. And like now I barely ever really get on it. And when I'm playing, I'll have a drink, have some coke to keep me going. But that's kind of it. Whereas before, fucking when I first started, fuck me, I was just out nonstop. And like, I think over the years, I've got to a point now where like, I just can't handle it. So it's all about like taking care of your health and looking after yourself. But then also you just like, coming back from traveling for like, I just told you guys, I haven't even slept since yesterday. I played 10 hours this morning. I'm doing another fucking 8 hours or something here tonight. And it's like, just to try and find that moment to just be mentally clear and feel like relaxed. And also then going, okay, I'm going to make more music. It's like, I'd rather just play fucking VR games just at home. That's all I do. I just go home and just like play computer games. It's like
that's what you need. Like if you've been DJing for 18 hours in like 30 hours type thing. So it's like 3/4 of your day, like just.
Yeah, when I go home, I don't listen to any like dance music unless I'm making it or like obviously buying it. So what I actually do listen to is, I don't know if you guys have heard of Enya before. Yeah, exactly. You have. There you go. Fucking, she's sick, isn't she? Yeah, it's just like classical fucking opera music. And I just love it. It's just like totally different. But like, if I listen to music, it's like jazz or just chill stuff. Yeah. I never listen. Well, actually, no, I was saying to before Slipknot. I fucking love Slipknot. Absolutely love Slipknot.
Do you ever attend festivals that you're not DJing?
Not really. I can't be asked to go out at all.
You want to go download festival?
I just don't want to ever go out unless I'm playing. Actually, to be fair, I went out on Sunday to see Enzo at 93, which was sick. But yeah, I don't know. Just for me, I don't have the interest of going out because I'm fucking always out.
Yeah. How do you sort of like maintain that energy and enthusiasm behind the decks when you've had that like, obviously you've spent 10 hours in Germany playing.
Yeah, so right now I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but as soon as I start playing and like, all these guys here and everyone else who comes starts dancing, you're just in it. Like, it's just the energy that you get. I love it. I love it. It's just the life around it that's the intense thing.
Can you share some of your like memorable moments from like one of your favorite gigs or like your favorite festival that you've experienced?
Fuck, there's just so many, man. It's so difficult. Okay, well, I mean, the very first time I played at DC-10 was obviously a standout thing because you're at DC-10, but I also had all of my best friends there at the same time. And that was like a really special moment. So like that will always stand out to me because it was pretty much one of my first ever gigs. And I was at DC-10, I shit myself. But I actually made all the music for it myself. So the whole set was all my new music. So that was a really standout one. Playing, just like my dreams are always like amnesia and stuff like that. So playing these clubs are always great. Burning Man is one of the best experiences I've ever had. Just playing out there is crazy. I played at Zurich Street Parade to 1 million people.
1 million?
There's 1 million fucking people. Like
event organizers there or?
Yeah, so once a year in Zurich, they have a street parade where it's like a celebration of techno, and the whole fucking country just gets together and goes and raves for the whole day. And there's like 1 million people. So I was doing the Elro stage, and like we can just see like as far as you can see, there's just hundreds of thousands of people. And then there's like all these different like parade art cars driving past, And like one of them's Carl Cox, and he's there all dressed up, drives past. Then there's Luciano, and it's like, it was the craziest thing. So like, man, there's so many amazing experiences. You know, when I first ever got to play back-to-back with Loca Dice, I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was like we played back-to-back for 5 hours, and like, you know, there's constant moments like that. So yeah, there's too many to pick from, mate. But like, all of it's just like such an amazing memory to have. So
do you know, when you look at some of the festivals, like obviously the amount that it's changed now, like with Elro, sort of like that experience where like people are coming into the crowd and they're walking around you on stilts, and you're looking, well, for me anyway, I'm looking up like, fuck, you know, what's going on here? Obviously you're behind the deck, so it's all right.
Yeah,
but like seeing all of that and all the confetti and everything, like how it's changed since when you first started maybe, and like it was less like, you know, there was production there, but like compared to now, how they've really vamped up the production and like the experience for the audience, you know, like how has it gone from like starting off at the festival when you were younger to now? Like how
well, it's just, I mean, I think it's fucking sick. I love it. Like, I love the whole Elro stuff, but I mean, I've always been playing, so playing and seeing, you know, confetti and just shit going on is obviously like, it's sick. But like, so my nature events for my record label, I'm about to launch them this year. And like, we're going like full on in with production, not like massive like Elro, but I really want to try and make an experience because there's so many amazing parties and events now. It's like, how are you going to like stand out amongst it? And I always want to like try and always make sure that I have like set a bar for quality of stuff. So the nature events that I'm doing, like we're building all this production design, and something that's really important to me is that like, if you go to Disney World or Disneyland or whatever, and you go on a ride, before you get on a ride, you actually have to like walk through this queue, but you're in the actual environment of whatever ride it is. So I'm like trying to come up with like ways to like build tunnels and shit. So when you go into the club, you actually feel like you're going into an experience. And when you're in there, I want it so that you can't actually see the club. It's going to feel like you're in an actual world that I've created. So
I've like read around this, like for my degree anyway, like I do events management, and like I've been reading around how like the audience behavior and what they expect nowadays. And obviously it's like they expect so much more, and their preferences have changed with technology advancing and everything like that. But like from the get, they're expecting something. It's not just a walk to the gate, scan your ticket and walk in. It's like, you know, like a tunnel or something like that, such as Disneyland, like bringing you in to like straight from the office, like fucking hell, we're there, like straight away, and they get excited.
I just want it to be an experience. I want my events to be like an experience that you remember.
And that's the thing, and they will, because you know, that's what people want nowadays. Like it's an experience to remember, and it's like this thing where people are walking in, they're like, fucking hell, I've never experienced this.
I want, like the thing that I'm trying to do is so out there. We just got a quote back, and they told us like the price of it was like, fucking hell, we have to completely scale this down. Yeah, it was 250 grand what we got told. I was like, no, we can't fucking do that at all. So like, it's scaled right down, but they built sculptures and stuff. Like the thing that our production team like showed us what they could do. They could build all these stages and sculptures, and it looks sick, but we don't need it, so we scaled it down. But yeah, the price came back, and I was like, yeah, I think we've fucking fucked this. But yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Might just be flowers from the entrance, so that's the start off. So obviously you mentioned nature and the label that you're progressing. What are sort of your goals and aspirations for the future nowadays?
Well, I wanted the label. I really want. It was COVID. COVID made me actually. COVID was the fucking best time of my life. I mean, me personally, I just loved it. I guess it gave me a bit of a break from touring, and I just got really creative. I started my own geek gaming fucking YouTube channel, and then I did my label, and it was just like a really creative process. But yeah, from that, I just want to put out good music and obviously do my events. And I think I'm at a point now where I really enjoy touring and playing and DJing, but I would like it so that like I really care more about having home time and having a balance. Like I'm not hungry to just get more money and more shows. Yeah, of course it's great. Of course, like, you know, you get paid and it's always going to feel a good thing, but I care more about actually having like more of a balance. So my idea is just to like start my own nature events, do them a few times a year in different countries, and maybe just like slow down touring all over so much. So instead of doing like 5 shows a week, you know, you do like 2 or 1 or whatever, but then you have your nature events. So,
Are there any like venues that you haven't touched on that you'd really like to be like, yeah, I want to play that?
I don't know yet. I don't know. We're trying to find the right venue, but it's hard. I don't know.
So for nature, for example, what sort of venues are you looking for? Like,
well, that's the thing. We don't fucking know at all yet. We're still trying to figure it out because we want to do the first one in London, but like there's so many different places, but like I don't know what the right one is.
Where did you play? For nature in London?
No, we haven't done it yet.
Oh, we haven't done it yet. Okay.
We're trying to plan it.
All right, I see.
We actually don't
so
know
yeah, just a choice of like, you know, will it be like a summer thing or will it be an all year thing? Yeah,
we're gonna do like maybe like first 3 in the UK, do South America because over there like it's just great for me, and then some in Italy, Tenerife. Love that. I mean, we wasn't planning Tenerife. I just wanted to make you feel happy, but maybe we will. Maybe we will. But yeah, I have no idea what we're doing with it yet. But it's just at the very start of the whole process. So
like, how do you envision your career? Sort of like, obviously, you're gone DJ, and now it's like you've got your label. Like in, let's say 5. Maybe 10 years, 15 years, like where do you see yourself progressing? Like where do you see everything going?
All I want to do, because it was always my dream and I used to do it and it still is go into film and do acting again. That's all I want to do really eventually. Okay. Like that's what I started doing. Then I became a dancer. Then my dance teacher got me off my face and I fucking sacked everything off, made music, and it's been an amazing experience. And like now I'm at a point where, you know, I'm just trying to build the foundation so I can get to a point where you don't need to rely on having so many shows, and I can go. Basically, I want to just go into acting again. That's always been like my thing. So that
like Luther, but the other way around. Idris Elba, but the other way around.
I want animal sanctuaries and fucking acting. That'll be great.
Okay, I love that. So, is there anything else you'd like to share to this audience or aspiring artists? Sort of like, have you got anything coming up that you'd like to share, or is there anything personally to you that you'd like to give out like advice to upcoming producers, DJs? You know, is there anything that you'd like to say on?
Yeah, I feel like something that I feel like is important is that as an artist is like, as someone who's making music. When I started, it felt a little bit more like that. Now there's so many artists and so many DJs and producers that are coming out. It's like, it's probably a lot more difficult for people to kind of get recognized and noticed. And I feel like now a lot of artists are trying to like make the same sort of stuff as someone else who's doing well. And I get that, because why would you not? You're inspired by it. But for me, it's more just about like just being true to yourself and standing out and just making your own thing. And, you know, just trying to like, it's all about just expressing yourself really. So that would be like my advice to producers, just do you, just completely just make what you want. Obviously take inspiration, but don't try and become someone else, because I think that blocks you. And then I don't think you'll stand out. And I think it's important I feel like every person in the world has like something special about them in whatever way. Because I feel like we're all creative. It's just trying to find that. And if you manage to just express it, then I think you're always gonna get that sort of attention and that energy back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, because I feel like you've had your sound like from the off, like that is your sound. And it's like, you know, if producers nowadays, obviously there's so many like producers and DJs, but if you can get that sound from early, like that is your sound, and people will remember you for that sound straight away. And it's so like
that, and also don't do too many drugs, because fucking hell, I did it and it's
not worth it, mate.
I mean, it was at the time, but like, you know, but now I'm like, I kind of wish I fucking took more control of myself, but I'm in a good place now. But that would be it. Because like the thing is, you get so wrapped up in the lifestyle, it's so exciting, you're partying, and like you kind of just don't really realize just like how involved you get. And you know, I've got so many friends around me that are like really struggle with addictions and problems, and I went through it. Like it was on a small scale, but I did have addictions and problems with like doing drugs. I would always be away, touring, come back and do more. And it actually really like damaged like my career got fucking like slowed down from it. I was exhausted like mentally and everything. So, you know, for me, I kind of wish that I could like go back to my younger self and be like, fucking just don't do that and just kind of take care of yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm going to open it up to the floor now. Is there anyone out here that has got any questions that they'd like to ask wAFF?
That's this one.
Shoot.
Petros, mate. I'm actually from Brazil. Like,
Oh,
people
sick.
in Brazil like love it, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
that you're thinking about going to South America. I was wondering, like, because you say, like, I'm sorry, but this for me is just insane. It blows my mind. How you make, 25 tracks in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
You're a freaking machine, bro. Like, how, like, what is your workflow? Like, how, because you said that you already got into the flow of, like, making fast beats and stuff. What are, like, the ways that you found to do this? Do you have, like, your own sample bank, like, your own sound that you already go to?
No, do you know what? Like, so, like, I've obviously I've got shitloads of, I've got like terabytes of samples and everything, but like, I just make it on the go. So you know, maybe tonight when I leave here, after I've been playing, I always have like loads of inspiration and ideas. So I might go back to the hotel room and just make like a few loops, and like I might make like one, or maybe I might like 5 loops, and I'll just save that, and then maybe the next night I'll do a few more, and then when I go back to the studio. Okay, what have you just made? I go through all the tracks, find out the best ones, and then just try and finish them off. So, but I have, obviously there's so many sample packs and everything that I have, but I don't have like a set thing that I do. I just go through it and just kind of go on the flow. But for me, I just find it easy, just press it. I don't have a fucking clue how to explain production. I have no idea. I did a masterclass, and I have no idea like if that was even good or not, because I don't understand compression, or I don't understand the maths behind music. I just press stuff until it sounds good, and then go right and record. So yeah, but like but I purposely in the last 3 weeks took the time off, because I was like, okay, because I just haven't released that much music over the years, because I've just got, like I said, like I got wrapped up in the party and you know, touring, doing drugs and everything, and it really did like slow me down. So, but now I'm in such a better place. I'm the healthiest I've ever been, and now I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna like spend every day just trying to finish music. So yeah, so there's loads.
And another one just about your hearing, like how now you're managing to take care of it, like you're minus 16 still, right?
I'm minus 15 now, yeah.
15, yeah. So like, because you're going to parties, you're playing a lot and stuff like that. What are the because you're not using earplugs, so how are you taking care of it? Like,
so I've been trying to use earplugs, but I find it really difficult.
Yeah.
I just keep the volume like lower in my earphones, but also now, mate, it seems like everything's actually a little bit too loud. Like the traffic outside, like if a car drives past me, it's like, fuck me, that's so loud, because I'm not used to that level of volume. So I don't actually need to have the booth or the headphones as loud. Yeah. Whereas before, everybody would be like, mate, fucking that, like the booth's so loud. And I'd be like, what? I couldn't even hear what they just said, because I was just that deaf. But yeah, just, I don't know, man. I'm in a weird situation with it, because I've gone through loads of my ears. I know I should wear earplugs, but I struggle to. So yeah, I've probably fucked it, yeah. But yeah, bro. What's your name anyway? Petros. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you, man.
Appreciate that. So has anyone else got any questions before we wrap this up? Go on.
What release of yours would you say is your favourite? Mine's Connected.
Oh, Connected.
Let me just repeat it, just in case the audio don't pick up. But you said, so what release?
What's my favourite release?
What's your favourite release?
Fucking hell. God. This is such a hard question though, man, because like, I really love so many of them. Like I loved Connected when I made that. Obviously Joe Johnson was amazing at the time. I remember Eclipse I really loved. It was like one of my earlier tracks. I don't know if you've heard it or not. But I really like Mesmerized. You know, I don't actually think I've got a favorite. It's really hard to actually say. How would you know? You're not me. Fucking hell, hang on a minute. Give me a minute. Just press pause on that a minute. Fucking hell, Connected was good. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'll say Connected was one of my favorites at the time. It was just one of them tunes that just really went off. But I've actually just made a new tune called Summers, which is sick, and I'm really excited for that. I'm hoping to release that on No Art, so we'll see, hopefully. But to be honest, mate, I can't actually say what's my favorite fucking tune. And I can hardly remember the rest of the names of them, so yeah. What's your favorite tune of mine?
Connected.
Is it Connected? Okay, yeah, we'll go with Connected.
I like the one on Drum Code as well.
Yeah, so again, I don't even remember the name of him. Yeah, that was good as well. Yeah, fuck, what was the name? I think it was Vibrations and like, what was it? Yeah.
No, one of them was Vibrations.
Vibrations and something else, I can't remember the name.
You know, playing tracks and SoundCloud, I think, jump on this.
Yeah,
It's like 1.3 million of that, you know.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I was going through your SoundCloud the other day, like one of your tracks has got like 1.3 million.
Oh, really? I mean, I've never even looked at my SoundCloud at all. Yeah, I don't look through it at all. Yeah, I have no idea. That sounds fucking mint. 1.3 million. They must all be deaf. They don't even know what it is.
Has anyone else got one? Go on, one more.
How do you keep your hair so like?
Just fucking sexy. I don't know, mate.
Do you shampoo every day?
I don't shampoo every day. No, I'll probably do it like shampoo, conditioner. There's hair products, but I'm too lazy to put it in. So yeah, I just put water on it and then just fucking just do that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you noticed, mate. You know.
All right, well, thank you for today's episode, and I really appreciate you coming on. It's been a pleasure, wAFF.
Cheers, bro.
Thank you for everyone coming, and yeah, big round of applause. Obviously, like, we'll see you tonight.
I'll be
We'll see you in about fucking.
What time is it?
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes you start. So yeah, get a few patrons down you, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. Do you want a shot, guys?